Call the meeting to order, roll call.
Commissioner Funes,
Present.
Commissioner Crowe,
Present.
Commissioner Barton,
Present.
Lieutenant Hampert is absent, and Attorney Romano.
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum. Okay, we have minutes from our September meeting.
Madam Chairman, I'll move that we accept the September minutes.
Second.
No questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we'll accept those minutes. Okay, then we have 3 one-day licenses. We have a one-day license from Hibernian for Sunday, March 25th, for a one-day extension of premises to the parking area for the annual road race. And then we have a one-day for the Brickyard Collaborative on Thursday, January 18th, from 6:30 to 10 p.m. And then we also have a one-day license from the Lynn Area Chamber of Commerce for a fundraiser for January 18th, from 5:30 to 7:30. These are all nonprofits.
Okay.
What is your pleasure?
I don't have any problems with any of them. I'll move that we approve all the one days and waive the fee for the one nonprofit.
I would second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, then we have a change of manager, Trio Mexican Grill, Market Street, for a change of manager, and you'll hear from Trio's Mexican. Hi,
How are you?
how are you?
Hello.
Good to see you.
And you are?
Nielsen Garcia.
Okay. And you're going to be the new manager?
Well, he's going to be.
He's going to be the manager,
Vicente
okay.
Fresco.
Your brother?
That's my brother.
Okay.
Vicente Fresco.
That's your brother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did he ever manage before?
I'm sorry?
Did he ever manage before?
No, he's been working with us since we opened.
Oh, since you
2.5
opened?
years, yes.
Okay, okay. Who was managing you?
It was Richard Herrera and myself.
Okay, yeah. All right. So now it would just be, he'll be the manager?
He'll be the
of
manager,
both?
but I'm still going to
Be, okay.
managing with me.
Okay.
I just need a backup.
Right. Okay. Any other questions?
No, Madam Chairman, paperwork's in order, Corey's done, everything looked fine, just fine. I'll defer to my right honorable colleague. Do you have anything you wish to add?
I do not, and I would like to make a motion that we do accept the new manager for trios.
Okay, I will second, excuse me.
All right, all in favor?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
Okay, then we have a transfer of license. Teresa Parado, okay, and you are?
My name is William
William
Garcia.
Garcia. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
This is Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia owned a business in Lynn, Monte Cristo, not very far from City Hall, and operated that. He sold that, went to a similar restaurant, Monte Cristo.
Okay.
Wants to come back to Lynn. It would be a similar menu, Hispanic food. We'd like the hours to be extended to the local board can grant. He's tip certified. As I say, he's been in the food service and restaurant business for several years. And I think when he was here in Lynn, I recall the food was pretty good at Monte Cristo. I think this would be a positive change for that location.
Any questions?
I didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
Nope.
Attorney Romano, do you
Nope.
have anything you wish to
Nope.
add?
Wow.
One is, in the past, he has given us a good reputation when the restaurant was here. I actually visited the restaurant, and I have no objection.
Then
Okay, I'll
we
move that we
need a motion.
accept the transfer of license.
Yep.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good
Good
luck.
luck.
Congratulations.
Good luck, yeah. That's a good one. And then we have another transfer of license, Omar Fernandez, Santo Domingo Liquors, 86 Newhall Street. He wants to relocate the alcohol package store license to Shop Quick. Okay.
I think you met Aaron before we were here.
Yep.
For a
Well-
change of manager at Shopwick and a change of officers and directors. He's actually the second generation who'd be operating. And I think if you live in that area as I do, everybody's familiar with Shopwick.
Oh, yeah.
Santo Domingo, the building got sold. The current owners didn't want the store there for whatever reasons. And we spent some time to ensure that the site would be adequate in terms of parking and facilities. In fact, Shopwick owns the adjoining parcel. And in terms of the store, I've learned since I've been in there that it goes further to the back than you think. If you just go in and buy a lottery ticket or something at the counter, it goes way back. And so we would like to transfer the license that was at Newhall Street to the location on Linfield Street.
Everything looked in order to me. Turning the amount, everything's,
Everything is ordered, I'm sure that the $25 license will be turning into beer.
Well, we have an agreement to transfer the license that was the beer and wine license. I understand Debbie was quite adamant in explaining to me what would be the case. And as I explained to her, if we can't achieve, though I think we can, the transfer of the beer and wine, we're trying to complete the transfer to Price Right, which is on the Linway. I've talked with Councilor Capone, if you know that, I think it's 340 something, the Linway, where Price Right is, T-Mobile, to that area. So that's where we propose to put the beer and wine license that was at Shopwick.
My understanding is this license can't be issued until you.
Debbie explained that. The thing with Shopwick is, not Shopwick, but Price Right is a New Jersey corporation. I had this issue with, when I did it with Shell Oil. They don't tell you the home addresses of the directors for security reasons. They list, like every director at Shell Oil is listed at someplace in Houston, Texas, and every director, believe it, at Price Right is listed at some address in New Jersey. I've explained to Price Right that they have to have a majority of the directors be citizens of Massachusetts. So they're forming a whole, I think Attorney Lamont maybe would call it a Q corporation. In other words, one corporation owns the other. The ABCC requirements don't go to the shareholders, it goes to the officers and the directors. And the new entity would have officers and directors at Price Right that satisfy the Massachusetts requirements, that you be a resident, that you be of 21 years of age. They have an address, believe it or not, it's known as a foreign corporation registered to do business in Massachusetts. They have an address in Massachusetts in Springfield, but it's still a foreign corporation. That I explained to them that the Springfield address doesn't satisfy the ABCC requirements. It may have satisfied the Secretary of State's requirements. And so that entity is being formed to hold the license, a beer and wine license.
so how long do you think that will take?
Well, forming the corporation won't take that long. I talked with Councilor Capano because I know they made changes, and this is, as you know, Price Right's in the waterfront district. And so there were a couple of issues that had to be clarified. One was, and Jim may be familiar, at one point the city council put in a restriction within 50 yards of notwithstanding what the state statute is about churches and schools. The Lynn Ordinance has got a footnote, I think it's 17, that you can't.
We've got central business district, so you probably.
All right, yeah, but it can't be within like 50 feet. So I was concerned about the proximity of Price Right to Lynn Tech or to any other school. I think that sort of got ruled out. And then the next question was because if they were in the waterfront district, whether they needed to get council consent, and I think Council Capano told me they do. So that application's been processed to put the license at, I think it's 335 Linway. But I understand we've got to get it all lined up. But that's an answer to the question of what's going to happen to the license at Shopwick.
So we cannot issue a license till?
Be approved, but as far as.
Right, can't be exercised. And as Debbie knows, even when you get a license approved, and even when the ABCC approves it, it has to get what's called, I think, a 305 before, they have to physically come down, the health department, the fire department, the building department, and inspect. And I would think that that will be a real inspection, given that the change of the character of the size of the use at Shopbrook. So that has to be done as well before the license could be issued or exercised.
Any other questions?
I don't believe so. So do we,
I guess we could probably approve the transfer based upon.
based upon
Contingent
Shopquick-
upon, right.
Contingent upon Shopquick purchasing the beer and wine,
Transferring
transferring
it
it
to
to
Price.
Price Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just lastly, just a small piece of advice. You might want to have your client go talk to Tony, T-Stop Tony on Walnut Street. He's another example of someone who went from beer and wine to
Oh,
all
Tony.
alcohol.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're talking
And,
about the superette.
The superette, yeah,
Right.
T-Stop. And one thing that Tony did, and I know we've never had a problem at your establishment, other than the unfortunate one that was
Yeah.
in the news, but that's neither here nor there. The point that I'm trying to make is one thing that Tony did was, you're standing at the counter, off to your left, you have 2 aisles, they're away from everything else, that's where the alcohol is. There are
Yes, that's
signs
what we're planning
everywhere
on
that say,
Yeah, as I said, we spent some time.
Everything will be, all the
Okay.
expensive products will be. in
We
the
spent some
back.
time and money on 2
Yeah.
plans, one of the exterior and one of the interior.
Okay.
Because if it couldn't fit and work, then it would make no sense.
and we don't want to see you down
No, no,
here,
of course.
you know?
No.
Okay, great.
Thank
All
you.
right, fantastic. So I move that we approve the transfer
Serve the
of the
license.
all alcohol license pending the
Transfer
transfer
to Price Right.
Price Right.
I'll second
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Good luck. Okay, then we have a hearing, Knights of Columbus. Questions concerning,
We never see you guys down here.
uh,
You doing? How you doing? Good.
hi, how are you? I'm well, how are you? Long time.
15 years.
Yeah, no, never seen you guys down here.
Yeah. So, guess it was quite a wedding.
It was.
Yeah. Is the bartender here? Oh, you were both bartenders? Oh, wow.
And Jimmy is
Wow.
the manager.
Wow. Because from what I'm reading, it sounds like there's some over-serving going on, or people were bringing in their own drinks, but at any rate, you are ultimately responsible for, what does happen down there. So we've asked you to come in just so that we can make sure that there aren't problems like this again.
No, there aren't. First of all of our bartenders are tip trained. And we follow, all the rules and regulations. We shut off people when we see it. We do not see anybody to be intoxicated at the bar. They had their wedding there in the hall at 7 o'clock. We didn't open the bar. Our customers, we don't open the bar before or during a wedding. It's afterwards. At about 10 minutes of 8, we opened the bar. We closed it at 9:45 because of the skirmish that was going on prior to the police coming.
Okay.
And 10 of the guests had escorted this person out. Didn't touch him, just kind of with body, moved him down the stairs. I went out with them, and I hit Tito, shut down the bar immediately, which is normally what we do. We shut the bar right down, and then we decide what we're going to do with it. And normally what we do if we have a skirmish, we would reopen it for soda only, no more alcohol, which is what we were doing, what actually we did with that. When they got him outside, he was a little hollering and bickering, and he left. And because he came back a little later, when the police came, and we didn't know he was back, and I guess there was some people outside, and he had parked his car in the middle of the lot and blocked some of our members because it was a Friday night from being able to get out. His car was there, so he had left for whatever reason, came back into the parking lot. Now, he as an individual, he came to the bar when the wedding was over, big guy, and he kind of wanted to push his way in. I said, well, you're going to have to, wait your turn, which he impatiently did. He said, I want orange juice. I said, what else? He goes, just orange juice. I said, that's all you drink? He said, I'm not a drinker. I don't drink at all. So he got the orange juice. Maybe an hour later, he came back. He was up there with probably 5 or 6 other people, and nobody offered to buy him a drink. So I said, well, maybe he doesn't drink. That's okay. Because I was kind of walking around trying to get an idea of what was going on, and I didn't see any alcohol. Of course, it's under the table, it's in a pocket. I mean, who knows? So he came back a second time, which is probably about maybe 20 past 9, 9:30, and bought another orange juice. And then he went back, and then it was shortly after that that we began to have a skirmish. Now he was, I guess, I don't know, he was the present husband or the ex-husband. And the error that the people made is, why would you invite both to a wedding? You know, which they kind of, but they were family, so that's what they decided to do. So when we the second time that I went outside, that's when the police officers had him on the ground, and handcuffing him, going to take him away. And there was a lady that was kind of spouting off. I believe it was his wife, and I thought they had a lot of patience not taking her in because the mouth was just going, and but they didn't. They were very good. I went back in, and everybody started to come back in, and I told Tito to open the bar for soda only, which is customary what we would do. The sergeant came in, and he says, I want the bar closed. I said, well, I just opened it for soda. He said, I want everybody out here. I said, okay, that was it. And then Jim came in, and we, they
Shut down the sound system.
Shut down the sound
Yes,
system.
yep.
Did whatever we had to do, and then they were moved. It took about 45 minutes to get them out the door.
Yeah.
And once they were out the door, I believe there was 4 of them were escorted down by a police cruiser down to Wyoming Square, because they didn't have a ride, and we didn't want to leave them out in the
Yeah,
cold.
I was at that point.
Yeah.
Everybody, we physically got everybody gone in their cars and gone. 4 people left, 2 couples, and they said they were waiting for their ride. So Sergeant Carroll, is it? I think he asked one cruiser, he asked them where they were going, they said Wyoming Square. So he asked the 2 to go with that cruiser to Wyoming. And then he sent another couple with another cruiser. And they took them off the parking lot of the Burns to Wyoming Square.
It sounds like they did everything they're supposed to do. Shut down the
Who
music.
did call the police?
There was a lady calling the police when I went down, and I didn't call them because she had already called them. She told me that. She said,
Okay.
I called the police.
Okay, in the future, you call the police, even if they told you they've already called. It's your responsibility. You
Well,
call the police.
I was standing right beside her when she was doing it, so that's why I didn't.
You call.
Second
You
time.
call.
Okay.
CYA, cover yourself,
Yeah.
call the
Gotcha.
police, for sure. For sure. That would be my only.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, this is very rare for the Knights of Columbus. You guys run a good show over there. It sounds like you had a couple of bad apples. I
We
think
did.
we should just accept this for the files, Madam Chairman.
I've been doing it for 35 years. This
Sure.
is my second time here. The last time was 15 years ago.
There you go. Yeah.
Was yeah, that incident. I don't even recall that one. I was invited.
Any questions, if you-
No, I do not, and
Okay.
I'd like to make a second
Okay,
letter for the file.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, yes, we'll do that. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Debbie.
Seeing you? Okay. All right, and then we have some communications. Everyone get a chance to read through the communications?
Yes.
What is your pleasure?
Except for the files, Madam Chairman.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And then we have a series of police reports.
Are you doing communications? So you'll have, it's just for fun, it's a conversation.
Thank you.
I know it's very important, that's the best medicine.
Okay, anyone have any questions regarding the police reports?
I do not, Madam Chairman. I didn't see anything really
I didn't see anything.
outside of the ordinary. There was a larceny and a couple other things that
Right.
are out of the, managers or owners'
Hands, right.
I should think we should accept them all for the files.
I will not read it. Second.
I too didn't see anything yet. that the owners were directly responsible for, so. I agree. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any new business?
Yes. All of the lodging house licenses have been, all the paperwork's in order, they're all set for the new year. The non-alcoholic common viculars, however, I have 23 that have not renewed.
Common business?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. So,
23.
do you want me to send them a letter and have them come into the next meeting, or what I can do is, tell them they can pay, if they come in and do it and they pay the late fee,
Mm-hmm,
then they don't have to come to the meeting.
okay. I like that.
I think that sounds fine.
That sounds-
Otherwise, they
yeah.
have to come to the
Come
next
come to the
meeting.
next meeting.
Yeah.
All the liquor licenses have been done except for 4. One,
Euphoria's renovations,
renovations,
Eclipse,
Eclipse for their occupancy permit.
okay. And they're not open, they're not open.
And Caruso's for their occupancy permit,
Okay.
and there's one other one.
Oh, wait a minute, Crusoe's for an occupancy permit?
Yeah.
So are they open?
We haven't heard otherwise.
He was in today,
Okay,
so I told him to go straighten out whatever it is.
up downstairs.
He paid everything.
Oh, all right.
I just don't know where the occupancy permit is. It's, and I think that was, those were only 3.
Those three. And then you
So,
tell me,
but,
I can't remember.
yeah, other than that, it went smoothly. A little miscommunication with ISD,
Mhm.
because the girls down there would tell them that they were all set,
Okay, and they weren't.
and they were all set with their paperwork, but they hadn't paid the fees and hadn't had the inspection, and if they didn't pass the inspection, they're supposed to call back
Okay,
and get it re-inspected. So there was a little issue with that. But other than that, for me,
Mhm.
they were all in
that's
and
good.
paid their money, and
that's good.
not a problem.
And you ruined houses 2 years
I
in a
know,
row? This is like,
You're getting a
wow.
gold star.
I know, really.
Yeah. so
Excellent,
we're good.
excellent. Good.
Well, 2 years
Thank
ago,
you,
we had a
Dick.
heck of a time with the rooming house.
Oh, yeah, that,
Yeah.
Jeffrey, good work.
good.
Nice work.
All right, and any old business?
No,
Then
motion
adjournment
adjourned.
is in order.